What's happening, YouTube? Cowboy here, and welcome back to another Heroes of the Storm Hero Showcase. This time around, we're taking a look at Azmodan. Now, Azmodan is a ranged specialist and an incredibly powerful character for sieging. Taking a quick look at his abilities, we have Globe of Annihilation, which launches a long-range orb dealing damage. Summon Demon Warrior, which will summon up to 2 Demon Warriors at its base level, which can help push the lane, soak ammo, attack, all that good stuff. All Shell Burn, which will channel a death beam at an enemy or structures, especially being effective against structures with an extra 25% damage bonus. And then General of Hell, which will summon a Demon Lieutenant, which boosts all minions, mercenaries, and summons in the area. In terms of heroic abilities, we have 2 choices, Demonic Invasion or Black Pool. Black Pool, laying down a pool on the ground which will last for 5 seconds, buffing the attack and ability damage of all those in it by 75%. And then, of course, the other one, Demonic Invasion, which summons a rain of demonic guns from the sky, doing damage on impact and then attacking after the fact as well. So overall, as I mentioned, he is an incredibly powerful siege-based character. Just about every Azmodan game I do, I'll usually push around 100,000 plus siege damage, and it's really hard to stop a good siege Azmodan. In general, I prefer mercenary lord-based builds, just because with proper team coordination and good use of the mercenaries, you can effectively push a lane out to the point where the enemy team just they either come down and they all stop you together, or they lose their base by like 15 minutes in. So we'll show you how things go once we get loaded in. Relatively quick loading game in comparison to some of them. The last game, I think I was at the screen for like 3 minutes. So in general, for your first talent, there's a couple viable choices here. I'll usually go for either Bribe or Sieging Wrath. Let me find out real quick.
Battle commencing in 10 seconds.
So as I mentioned, 2 big choices I'm going to consider here, Sieging Wrath or Bribe. In general, Taste for Blood just isn't worth it. The chances of last hitting aren't going to scale well enough to make it worthwhile. Sieging Wrath, on the other hand, because ability damage scales as the game progresses, it is a very worthwhile skill, making the damage of your Globe of Annihilation pretty damn high with proper usage. Spare ammo isn't really necessary because all the little summons you make are going to be soaking up structures as well. They're going to be soaking up ammunition, I mean. And Healing Ward, because we're not really a big team fight type hero, so that's another one we're not going to really consider. So in general, the way you're going to play Azmodan is you get in the lane and you push and you push and you push. He is very, very strong at pushing. Through good usage of Azmodan, he's a very hard hero to stop. You know, even though the game just started, you can see we're in the first minute and I'm already burning down the shit out of this tower. Just going to back up here, toss down a globe on them. That guy out, get the Demon Lord out, get another one out, and then we'll just hit up this nice little fountain and replenish ourselves. Toss down globe.
Activate the shrines and the dragon's power is yours.
So if he wants to take this shrine, he's going to have to deal with all Shell Burn. And nope, he is not going to make it out alive. So we have the dragon active. We're tossing down the nukes. Keep the nuke alive. Always try and grab those regen globes. Honestly, the biggest weakness, in my opinion, of Azmodan is the fact that he doesn't have a lot of sustainability with his mana pool. His mana pool is relatively limited compared to a lot of heroes. We're actually going to go back to base and fully mana up. So in terms of our second talent, we're going to be going for Bound Minion. Now there's a couple of good choices here. Gluttony gives you a little bit of sustain. Army of Hell, not really worried about it. I feel the extra Demon Warriors aren't going to help me all that much. Burn the Weak is nice if you're worried about killing mercenary camps, but not really needed. And Superiority is another thing that you just don't really need. So in general, Bound Minion is what I'm going to go for. While my team is busy pushing up the mid lane with the Dragon Knight, I'm going to get back down here and annihilate the bottom lane. Dragon Knight is down. And I need help getting the Merc camps. And any map where you have double siege camps on the bottom is a map where a Mercenary Lord Azmodan will be very, very effective and very hard to counter. So while all that fighting was just happening over in that lane, now I'm back down to bottom and I'm going to decimate this lane. So real quick, just to check the numbers, you can see even without taking the Dragon Knight myself, the amount of siege damage I've already done is just rapidly increasing, very fast. And that is that's the first lane right there. So we have a Zeratul on us, along with the Arthas. Not really something we want to deal with. Grab the fountain, get some mana, and toss out a globe, a max range globe at that. Big damage there. Almost actually killed the Arthas. Another globe. If he hangs around, I can kill him with globe, I think.
Choose a talent.
Might kill him with globe. Whew, man, that was close. So this is where we're going to pick Mercenary Lord up. As I mentioned, a Mercenary Lord based Azmodan. Very, very powerful because not only are we getting 50% damage on Siege and Bruiser Mercenaries, but we're also going to use a Bound Minion to increase their damage by another 100%. So we're going to put that up on him. Toss this out. And then burn this building down. And this building will fall in just a second now with the buffed mercs. So you can see while there's the team fight going on up here, we're able to effectively just kind of molest the lane right now.
The dragon awaits, heroes. Free him and destroy your enemy.
No, we do need to go back. We are relatively low on mana. We're going to lose that Merc, it looks like. I need a... That's honestly the one thing I don't like about Azmodan. You really don't have a lot of mana sustain for the type of pushing you want to do. You just... Shit. There's a Zeratul here. I need to back up. I'm not going to be able to fight the two of them. Oh shit, he's still here. Oh no, I might die. No, fuck y'all. Back up to the safety of being behind our tower, and we'll drop a globe to help clear out that whole wave.
Choose a talent.
So I believe this is our ulti. Yes. Grab that. I'll try and get them off of this. I don't think Zera's still down here. So just to show you the difference, Blackpool, as I mentioned, attack and ability damage by 75% versus Demonic Invasion, which is just a big old pool of grunts. Demonic Invasion in particular, a very strong skill for assisting with the push. And I think we're going to actually take both of these structures right here. Ooh, and I got all the creeps as well. Bitch, eat that dick! Oh, the double kill! Don't fuck with the Azmodan. So a big double kill there. Pretty much perfectly timed usage of the ult on my behalf. And you can see their Azmodan is like, motherfucker is pushing out my lane. I can't compete. This tower's going down, baby. Here comes the siege. Boom. One more. 8 seconds. We're going to hang around. Wait to drop that siege. Hang out in the trees here. Also, it'll take us one more Globe of Annihilation, and that other tower is dropping, and here it is. Head back to base. Boom, that tower's down. So as you can see, 7 minutes in, and we've officially pushed this lane up to the final gate. At this point, we're going to pick up March of Sin. Now, in terms of the other abilities, Hellforged Armor will help with your guys to get them to push a little bit stronger. Honestly, It's not really necessary in my opinion. You know, they're there to soak ammo, that's about it. Blazing Demon Warriors will help with pushing the lane, also an ability that I don't really consider necessary. Relentless, I'm not all that worried about people getting on me with tons of CC effects, but having March of Sin and just having the ability to move while we are pushing lanes is incredibly powerful in its own right, because of the fact that being stuck standing still while you're channeling, you know, it puts you in a dangerous position. You can't do anything. You have to just stand. And anything that's going to force you to stand still is something you don't want to deal with. So we're going to keep sieging that portion of the base every second we get. And especially while we're far away, that's what makes Sieging Wrath such an incredibly powerful talent. Arthas is about to be dead. Get the fuck out of here. We're gonna buff them. And that Merc camp, ooh baby. And this is gonna be disgusting right here. There's no real stopping this anymore. We're gonna blow through their base in a matter of seconds. Buff the mercenary. We're just gonna start working down this building. You can see already 10 minutes in, 65,000 siege damage. I'm gonna die probably, but not before I get all my goodies off. Illidan will clean him up. There we go. And the siege mercs should be able to finish off these buildings in my absence. Oh yeah, they grabbed the second camp too, yeah. So bottom lane is going to fall here in just a matter of seconds. Not too bad. 70,000 siege damage at 10 minutes in. Very good game so far. So on to our level 16 talent. Honestly, the only one I'd really consider here is going to be Demonic Smite. Battleborn is not really going to be necessary, and a lot of the time you're going to just be chucking it at buildings, not necessarily at heroes. Imposing Presence, I'm not all that worried about enemies attacking me, to be honest. Blood for Blown is great if you're looking to fight a lot, or if you frequently have heroes that are coming to try and gank you. But aside from that very specific scenario, which doesn't happen all that often, you're not going to have a lot of value from that. I'm taking this. Where's this Nova? Let this bitch show up. Watch what happens to her. You're dead. You fucked with the wrong Azmodan, bitch. Raynor will grab the Dragon Knight here. And I will begin to siege. Their poor Azmodan thinks he stands a chance. Not gonna happen, bro. Not while I'm here empowering all these mercs. Dropping down the ulti. Dropping down the siege. And that might be a dead Azmodan. No, it's not. Oh, damn it. Almost, almost. Ooh, having a little siege battle here. I'm actually going to go back to base. I'm too low to really hang out. Meanwhile, they are doing an excellent job of pushing in mid. This is going to be wrapped up in just a second from the looks of things.
I shall not return to that prison. No!
A hero has abandoned the battle.
So we're going to grab both siege merc camps. That'll allow us to push up the bottom lane effectively put the nail in the coffin, get that GG. Like I said, Azmodan isn't the best at pushing siege camps. In general, this is why I will take Mercenary Lord most of the time. It's just, you know, if you don't have the team support to help kill those camps, Mercenary Lord will make a huge difference. Being able to walk up and just be like, click, click, you got the camp, that's big. So we got all of our mercs up front here. Clear the waves out. Drop the bombs on these guys. They're falling down, and we have the quad siege mercenaries, which is going to let us absolutely dominate all the way through that core. Arthas is going to die in a couple seconds here if he doesn't get the hell out. You really want to die, Arthas? We can arrange that. Since you don't seem to want to run, we'll just make this easy for you. Buff up the merc. We are burning that. They are getting on me. They are not happy. Ooh, the Nova trying to get the kill. Tossing out the globe. At this point, if you, I go for Perishing Flames. Honestly, don't really need Swift Storm or Storm Shield for that matter.
The dragon shall rest no longer. Unleash its power.
Oh, shit. Well played, Nova. Well played. Unfortunately, it looks like Azmodan is going to butter your shit now. Yep, that's a kill. And meanwhile, they just lost their other keep. So just in comparison, as you can see, siege damage pretty fucking stupendous right now. Their Azmodan's also doing really well with the siege damage, but the big difference you'll see is that his team hasn't really been with him. And that's a big thing about playing Azmodan properly. While you do have enormous siege potential and you have the ability to effectively push a lane all the way up into base completely on your own, if you don't have a team to support you on those pushes and you don't peel off at certain times to fight with the team, at the end of the day, it's going to fail. So a prime example of this is, as we've been playing, you know, the team has been very supportive in grabbing all the mercenary camps to help me out. You know, taking real advantage of the mercenary perk I have. On top of that, both instances that I managed to get the double siege mercs and I started my push, the team was there to support in the push with me, allowing me to effectively just work my way up in base and giving those siege mercenaries a lot of uptime while I had that buff. Either way, this is about to... all we gotta do is get up there and channel a burn, and this is done. Can't stop me. Can't stop me. You can't stop me. I'm burning your base. And down it goes. So all in all, 100... almost 106,000 siege damage. Damn good match. You can see we even beat out Raynor, who's taking the Dragon Knight quite a bit. And I'd say it's a solid GG. So either way, guys, thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the Azmodan gameplay. In terms of our next hero to look forward to, I'm not entirely sure who I want to go with next. I know a lot of the heroes that are available for this week. Obviously, Azmodan and Zeratul are the two that I don't own, so I wanted to knock them out first. Everything else I believe I own, except for... no, yeah, everything else I own. So I'm not sure who I'll go for next, but either way, make sure to stay tuned, and we will catch you guys for the next episode as we continue on our hero showcase for Heroes of the Storm.